Okay, so in this video, you're going to go over, you're going to look at a question from algebra. I'm just going to pick a random question. I'll try to use two questions for now. It's just a brief video. So the first question is asking us to simplify. So let's say we have been given, um, let's say we have been given 3 root y, or let me say 3 root x minus 2 root y. Okay, uh, divide by 2 root x plus what? Plus 5 root y. Okay, so what we're going to do here in this case is that for us to simplify this, we'll try to, of course, we can either multiply by the conjugate of the numerator or the conjugate of the denominator, because the question is just open, it just says simplify, so it's up to you. But in this case, I'm going to use the conjugate of the denominator, of which in this case the conjugate of the denominator is just 2 root x minus 5 root y. Okay, divide by 2 root x minus what? Minus 5 root y. So when, just in case you haven't come across something called the conjugate, so you're talking about the conjugate, for example, if you have your a plus b, the conjugate of a plus b is just what? A minus b. If you have y minus x, the conjugate of y minus x is y plus what? Plus x. So you just change the sign of the value that is there. So even if it's just a single variable or a number, for example, if it's 4, the conjugate of that is negative 4. If it's y, the conjugate of that is what? Is negative y. If it's negative y, the conjugate is positive what? Positive y. That's what we mean by that. Right. So here you multiply the denominator. You multiply both the denominator and the numerator by the conjugate, as I earlier said. So on the numerator, you're going to have what? You're going to have 3 root x minus what? Minus 2 root y. You close, I open again, have 2 root what? Root x minus 5 root what? Minus 5 root y, like that. Then on the denominator, that's what we have on the numerator there. Okay, but for the denominator, when you look at this is just a difference of 2 squares. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to bother yourself to write both of them and you expand this and that. This is just the difference of 2 squares. So what you're going to have is what? Is root you're going to have 2 root x squared minus what? Minus 5 root y squared, like that. Okay, so we now expand the numerator. When you expand the numerator and multiply this by that, you're going to get what? This will give you 6x. Okay, so where is the 6x coming from? You have your 3 root x and you're multiplying by what? By 2 root what? Root x. These 2 and these 3 are multiplying to get 6. Then this root and this root I'm also multiplying, meaning this you have what? Root x squared. So this one goes and that one, you have your 6x like that. So that's how we come up with the 6x, just in case. Yeah. So what else? What else are we going to do? So now we multiply this same one by what? By the second term there. So what are we going to have? Right, so by the second term, you see, to say this one is positive, the second term is negative, so it will be negative. So you are saying 3 multiplied by 5, that will give us what? A 15. Okay, you say 15, but we have an x and what? And a y. So what you're going to have is just what? Is x and y. So just in case again you don't know where this x and y is coming from, under the same root, when you have root x multiplying by what? Root y, this is more like you had what? You had x multiplied by what? Y. Hence this is just what? Xy, like that, under the same root. So that's why it is that arrangement. Then now we pick this one. So minus 2 root y multiplied by positive 2 root x. So this will give us not positive, rather it will give us negative 4 root x y, like that. Then last but not least, this one and that one again. So you see, to say there is a negative here and there's a negative, that would be what? A positive. And 5 by 2, that's a 10. Okay, that's a 10 maintain y actually, because you are saying root y by root y, that would be what? A y like that. Okay. Then on the denominator, this 2 is going to be raised to this 2 here, as well as what? As well as that root x there. So 2 squared is what? Is 4. Then this one is going to go, and the square is going, and the square is going to go, is going to cancel with the 2 that we have there as a power. So just going to have what? Your 4x minus. Same thing happens here. You are raising 5 to power 2, as well as what? Root y to what? To 2. So this one is going to go, and that one is going to go. 5 squared is what? 25. So you say 25 what? Y. So here you can correct the like terms for the numerator. So you're able to see to say these two are what? Are like. But we are still going to maintain what? Our 6x here. That would be minus what? 19 root what? Root xy plus what? Plus 10y divided by what? 4x minus 25y. So for this part where you have minus 15 minus 15xy minus 4 root xy like that. So these two are like terms, hence that's why we did what? That's why we added. So it's more like you're saying minus 15 minus 15y minus what? 4y. Y and y are like terms, hence you do what? You add. So that's how you go about simplifying that question. So it's up to you. You multiply by the conjugate of the numerator or the conjugate of the denominator. Yeah, since the question was just open. So another question that we are going to look at is let's say they give you something like 3x minus 2 like that, plus root again here, say x plus what? Plus 2 is equals to what? Is equals to 4. Here we are solving for x. Alright, so there are two ways you can go about this one. There is either you get this one, you take it on the other side, then you square both sides, or you can just do it just here and now. You're still going to get the same thing. So that would be what? A squared there, a squared there. Alright, so when you expand this one here, so I'll try to write it just the way it is. That we are going to have what? 3x here minus 2, okay, like that, plus what? Plus another root again, x plus what? Plus 2. You close, you open another one. Here you have what? Root 3x minus 2 plus what? The same one again, x plus what? Plus 2 here. You close, equals to, so 4 squared is basically 16. So this one by this one, you keep in mind to say, when you're saying this one and this one are the same, okay, so it just basically means the root is going to cancel, hence you're going to have what? 3x minus what? Minus 2. So the same as this one, when you multiply it by this one, you're still going to have the same thing. So that would be what? Plus what? X plus what? Plus 2. So now when you multiply this one by this one to be something different, same as when you multiply this one but by this one. So what you're going to have there is that you're going to have something like I'll say plus what, because when you multiply this one by this one, what you're going to have is what? You're going to have this 3x minus 2, you close, you open again, x plus what? Plus 2. So you realize that you have 2 of these, hence you're going to have what? 2 root what? Hence you're going to have 2 root 3x minus 2, then x plus 2 there, like that, is equals to what? 16. So now you can take these on the other side, okay, and you realize to say here the 2 will go and that other 2 will go. So here what you're going to have is the 4x. So you're meaning you have what? You have root 2. You have root 2 of what? 3x minus 2. Then you have x plus what? Plus 2 there. You close. Okay. Then this will be equals to what? 16. Remember to say this, we have our 4x. Our 4x is going to be what? It's going to be on the other side. So now again you square what? You square both sides like that. So this 2 will be, this 2 here is going to be raised to what? To this 2 here, and again to everything here. Okay, so what will basically happen is that you're going to have 4 open bracket, then you're going to have you're going to have 3x minus 2. Okay, then here you're going to have x plus what, plus 2 is equals to, when you expand this, 16 by 16. Okay, you say 16 by 16, that will give you 256. 256. Okay, then 4 minus 4x squared, that will give you what, plus 16x squared. Then when you multiply this one by this one, what you're going to get is 16 times 4. 16 times 4, you're going to get 64. 64 times 2, you're going to get what? You're going to get 128. So it will be what? Minus 128 this side, like that. Okay, so we can also expand the other side, open, so that would be what? That would give us 3x squared. Okay, 3x squared plus what? Not plus rather, but minus 4. Minus 4. Then the 3x by the 2 here will give us what? 6x. Then this one by this one will give us 2x. So you're saying positive 6x minus 2x, that will give us what? Plus what? Plus 4x. Okay, is equals to what? 256 plus what? 16x squared. 16x squared minus 128. Okay, so we just try to create some space so that we finish this up. Okay, so we just try to bring it up so that we use the same one. Okay, like that. So we continue. So now, what we are going to have this side is that we are going to have what? We are going to have 12x squared minus 16 plus what? 16x is equals to 256 plus what? 16x squared minus 128. You can correct the like terms here. Okay, so you're going to have 16x squared. In fact, so that we don't even waste our time, we're just going to say 16x squared minus what? Minus 12x minus 12x squared. What you're going to get is what? Is 4x squared. 4x what? Squared. Then what else are we going to subtract? Okay, so for these two, we can subtract. We can say 256 minus 128. What we get is 128. I believe there's a part that we have left out. Okay, so the 128 is supposed to be x, like that. It's supposed to have an x. So we just use the same one. Okay, so we'll take it up like that. So as we had say this was 12x squared minus 16 plus what? 16x. Then here we have what? We have our 256. We have what? Our 16x squared minus what? Minus 128x, like that. Okay, then we subtract the 12 from the 12x squared from the 16x squared. What you're going to get is what? Is 4x squared. Then we subtract the 16 from what? From the 128. So we subtract the 16 from 128. What we get is what? or rather, since this is a positive, when you take it to the other side to be negative, so we're going to say 128 plus what, plus 16, that will give us 144. Okay, that will give us minus 144, minus 144x. Then this 16, since it's negative, when you take it to the other side to be positive, so we add it to 256. Okay, that will give us plus 272. Okay, so we can divide all we can like, it's more like you are trying to divide by a number that can go into all of these without leaving a remainder, which is 4. So 4 can go into all of these without leaving a remainder. So we're going to have x squared here minus, so 144 divided by 4, that will give us 36. So this will be 36x like that, plus, so 272 divided by 4, that will give us something like 68. So here you can factorize this. So when you reach this stage, you know to say this is equals to 0. So now it's just a matter of you finding the value of what? The value of x. So you have two methods that you can use. You can use the factorizing method, or you can use the formula method. So here, this is our b. Remember to say our formula is minus b plus positive or negative. We say b squared minus what? Minus 4ac divided by what? Divided by 2a. That is when you're finding the value of x like that. So our b is negative, hence it will be what? Positive when you place it there. So that will be what? 36 positive or negative, open bracket, like that. So 36 squared now. So 36 squared, that will give us something like, it's quite a big value, that would be 1296 minus, so 4ac, remember to say our a is 1, our c is 68, so you're just saying 68 multiplied by 4, that will give us 270 what? 272 divided by what? Divided by 2, since our a is what? Since our a is 1, because we are supposed to say 2 multiplied by a, of which our a is 1 in this case. So here we are saying 36. Okay, positive or negative, the question is that what are we going to have? So you're saying 1296 minus 272, what you get is 1024. The square root of that, you are going to get what? 32. Okay, 32 divided by what? Divided by 2. So here you are going to have two values. It's either you are saying 36 plus 32 divided by 2, which is going to give you what? Which is going to give you something like 34, yeah. And again, another value is that another value that you're going to have is that you are going to say, okay, another one is that you're going to have 36 minus 32. So I say 36 minus 32 divided by 2, that will give you what? 4 divided by 2, which is what? A 2. So it's just a matter of you trying out these values into the same what? The same equation that we have. The one that's going to work out is the one that is the answer. The one that's not going to work out is the one that is called an extraneous solution. So if you have two or more solutions, one is not working out, one or two are, well, let me just say those that are not working out. So if you have maybe a set of solutions of such as A, B and C, if A and B are not working out, they are called extraneous solutions. If C is working out, it's the one that is the solution. If none of them are working out, all of them are extraneous solutions. So don't always expect to find like exact value. Sometimes having no solutions is the solution of the question itself. Yeah, so that's how you go about answering those two questions. Thank you for watching.